I never imagined that hiding my success would one day become the greatest weapon in my arsenal, a silent storm that would shatter illusions and rebuild bonds in ways I could never have foreseen. My name is Alara Sterling, and at 58 years old, I had built an empire from the ashes of hardship, earning $40,000 every single month as the regional director of operations for a multinational corporation spanning 5 countries. I signed contracts worth hundreds of millions, led teams of thousands, and made decisions that shaped industries. Yet, to my son Marcus, I was just Mom, the quiet woman who left for an unspecified office job each morning, returned exhausted in the evenings, and lived in a modest 2-bedroom apartment in a middle-class neighborhood of Seattle, Washington. I drove a 10-year-old Honda Civic, shopped at thrift stores and discount chains, cooked simple meals from whatever was in the pantry, and carried the same faded leather handbag until the straps frayed. Why the secrecy? Because I grew up in a world where true strength was internal, where flaunting wealth invited envy and corruption. My own parents had scraped by as factory workers, teaching me that dignity wasn't measured in dollars, but in resilience and quiet integrity. I wanted Marcus to learn that too, to value effort over entitlement, to build his life on his own merits. So, I invested every extra penny, stocks, real estate, retirement funds that ballooned into millions. I became wealthy in the shadows, observing the world with the sharp eyes of someone who had climbed from nothing. Marcus, my only child, was 35 now, a mid-level project manager at a tech firm downtown. He was kind-hearted, hard-working, but perhaps a touch insecure about his roots. He'd married Simone 3 years earlier, a poised, ambitious woman from a well-off family overseas. Simone was beautiful, with sharp features, always impeccably dressed, and she worked in marketing for a luxury brand. I liked her well enough. She was polite, if a bit distant. But I sensed something beneath the surface, a subtle superiority in how she spoke of her parents' achievements, their properties in Europe, their business empire. Marcus adored her, and for his sake, I stayed neutral. Then came the phone call that Tuesday afternoon in early spring. The cherry blossoms were blooming outside my window, painting the city in soft pinks, when Marcus's voice crackled through the line, laced with that familiar boyish anxiety he got when navigating social minefields. "Mom, I need a huge favor," he said, his words tumbling out. "Simone's parents are flying in from London for the first time. They've heard so much about you and want to meet. We are doing dinner Saturday at Le Chateau, that fancy French place downtown. Please say you'll come. It'll mean the world." Le Chateau. I knew it well, the kind of establishment where entries started at $150, sommeliers swirled wines older than most people, and the clientele arrived in chauffeured cars. It wasn't my scene, but the hesitation in Marcus's voice tugged at my heart. "Of course, son. I'd love to meet them." There was a pause, heavy and telling. "Great. I told them you work in an office, live simply, don't have much. Nothing fancy. I didn't want them to expect, you know." There it was, the word simple, dropped like a pebble in still water, rippling discomfort through me. Simple. As if my life, my sacrifices, my triumphs could be reduced to that. as if I were an embarrassment to polish away. I gripped the phone tighter, a knot forming in my chest. Do they know anything specific about me? Another silence. Not really. Just that you're a single mom who raised me alone. That you're modest. Modest. The knot tightened into something colder, suspicion. I'd heard whispers from Marcus about Simone's parents, Veronica and Franklin Whitmore. Self-made millionaires, they'd bootstrapped a logistics company into a transatlantic powerhouse. Veronica managed investments, Franklin oversaw operations. They doted on Simone, funding her education at elite boarding schools, her travels, even contributing generously to the young couple's down payment on a sleek condo in Bellevue. But there were hints of snobbery. Simone once mentioned her mother scoffing at common people who settled for less. I decided then and there to test the waters. If they judged based on appearances, I'd give them exactly what they expected, a broke, naive widow scraping by. It would reveal their true colors, protect Marcus from potential manipulation, and perhaps teach him a lesson about authenticity. Sadness flickered in me. I hoped I was wrong, that they'd embrace me with warmth regardless. But experience had taught me otherwise. Corporate boardrooms were full of sharks in suits. Family could be worse. Saturday dawned crisp and clear. I rummaged through my closet for the perfect disguise. A faded grey cotton dress, shapeless and wrinkled from years in storage, paired with scuffed black flats I'd bought for $10 at a garage sale. No makeup, no jewelry, not even my simple watch. I pulled my silver-streaked hair into a messy bun, grabbed a worn canvas tote that screamed budget-conscious, and examined myself in the mirror. I looked every bit the weary, overlooked matron, forgettable, pitiable. A pang of vulnerability hit me. This was how so many women my age were seen, dismissed. But power surged beneath it. I called a rideshare, no need for my discreet luxury sedan tonight, and headed to Le Chateau. The restaurant loomed like a palace of opulence on the waterfront, its valet parkers in crisp uniforms ushering in gleaming Mercedes and Teslas. Crystal chandeliers spilled golden light onto marble floors as I stepped inside, the air scented with truffles and aged Bordeaux. Heads turned subtly, curious, then dismissive. Marcus spotted me first from a corner table overlooking the Puget Sound. He was dashing in a tailored navy suit, but his face paled. "Mom, you came." His eyes darted over my outfit, a mix of relief and mortification. "Of course, darling." I hugged him timidly, my voice soft and quavering for effect. Simone stood beside him in a silk emerald blouse and pencil skirt, diamonds glinting at her ears and throat. Her kiss on my cheek was perfunctory, cool. "Mother-in-law, so glad you could make it." Her eyes, however, scanned me with barely concealed shock. Then there were Veronica and Franklin, already seated like monarchs. Veronica, in her mid-50s, was a vision of calculated elegance, sequined black gown hugging her trim figure, emerald necklace matching her eyes, dark hair in a flawless chignon. Franklin, broad-shouldered and silver-haired, wore a bespoke charcoal suit with a Rolex that caught the light like a beacon. They rose politely, but their handshakes were limp, their smiles plastic. "A pleasure, Ilara," Veronica purred, her British accented voice dripping honeyed condescension, as she appraised my dress like it was a rag. Franklin echoed, charmed, his gaze lingering on my tote with faint pity. I took the seat at the table's end, isolated, like an afterthought. No one pulled out my chair. The sommelier presented leather-bound menus in French. I feigned confusion, squinting at the script. Oh dear, I can't make heads or tails of this. Veronica sighed theatrically. Allow me. We'll order something simple for you, nothing extravagant. The word simple again, laced with implication. She selected a basic salad for me, $45, while ordering foie gras and wagyu for the table. Marcus shifted uncomfortably. Simone toyed with her napkin. Conversation started innocuously, their transatlantic flight, the quaint Seattle views. But Veronica steered it swiftly to wealth. We stayed at the Four Seasons, $1, $200 a night, but worth it for the spa. And the Bentley rental. Divine. We popped into Tiffany's earlier, picked up a little something for Simone, just $8,000. She laughed lightly, eyes on me, waiting for awe. I nodded meekly. How lovely. Franklin chimed in, we've properties in London, Marbella, and Aspen. Business is booming, turned a $50 million quarter last year. Pride swelled in his voice. And you, Elara? Veronica asked sweetly. What do you do? Office work, I murmured, eyes downcast. Filing, paperwork. Nothing special. Administrative. Veronica exchanged a glance with Franklin, pitying, superior. Honest work. Dignified. The courses arrived, microscopic portions on vast plates, artfully drizzled. Veronica savored her steak. This is $120, prime Japanese beef. Quality over quantity, right? One can't eat just anything. I poked at my salad. You're right. Marcus tried redirecting to his promotion, but Veronica interrupted. Does your mother live alone, Marcus? Yes, small apartment downtown. Veronica's faux sympathy oozed. Must be tough at your age, Elara, no family support, limited income. Does your salary stretch? I swallowed the bait. I manage. Save where I can. Oh, brave soul, she cooed. We admire that. Though we always ensured Simone had the best, private schools, world travel, 4 languages. We funded their condo down payment, $80,000, and the honeymoon in the Maldives, $25,000. Supporting children properly, you see. The knife twisted. And you, Elara? Help with the wedding. A small gift, I whispered. What I could. How sweet. Intention matters. Her smile was venom. Rage simmered cold in my veins, but I held the facade. Dessert came, gold-flecked soufflé for them, plain fruit for me. Veronica launched her finale. As family, we must discuss stability. Marcus, Simone deserves security. We don't want burdens weighing them down. Burdens? My voice trembled artificially. Veronica leaned in maternally. At your age, alone, modest means, natural for Marcus to worry. Affects his marriage. We are offering help, $700 monthly allowance. Modest, but comforting. In exchange, give them space, no frequent visits, no pressures. Sound fair? The bribe. Control disguised as charity. Marcus flushed. Mom. Veronica hushed him. Adults talking. Silence fell. All eyes on me. I wiped my mouth calmly, sipped water. Then, the mask cracked. My voice steadied, deepened, executive steel. Generous offer, Veronica. $700 to vanish from my son's life. She blinked. Not like that. Exactly like that. I leaned forward. You've paraded your wealth all night, probed my worth. Discovered I'm simple worth arms to buy silence. Franklin bristled. Misinterpreting. No. You called me a burden. Offered pity. Humiliated me. Tears pricked, not acting now, but raw hurt. But let's clarify. That down payment. $80,000. Honeymoon. $25,000. Total investment. $105,000. Buyer's obedience. Veronica paled. We love our daughter. Love shouldn't cost freedom. My heart pounded, but clarity surged. You've asked nothing of my happiness, only calculated my value. Marcus whispered, Mom. I ignored him, eyes locked on Veronica. You admire struggling women. Ever struggled yourself? Built without inheritance. She stammered. I manage investments. With Franklin's capital. Difference, creating versus curating. The table froze. I inhaled, unleashing decades. At 23, pregnant, abandoned. Family disowned me. Minimum wage secretary, rented room, starvation rations. Worked till delivery, back 2 weeks later. Neighbor babysat Marcus. 12-hour days, night classes, library books on finance, English, management. Climbed, secretary to coordinator, manager, director. 20 years. Now? $40,000 monthly. Regional director. Budgets in billions. 10,000 employees. Gasps. Marcus's fork clattered. Simone's hand flew to her mouth. Franklin choked on wine. Veronica gaped, sequins suddenly garish. $40,000. Monthly, she whispered. Nearly $10 million gross career. Investments triple that. Tears welled in my eyes, pride, pain. Hid it so Marcus valued work, not wealth. Lived simply to teach humility. Marcus teared up. Mom, why never tell me? Wanted you independent. A man, not heir. I turned to Simone. Why the modest life? Don't need validation. True wealth is internal. Veronica recovered, furious. You deceived us. Pretended poor to trap us. You trapped yourselves, I retorted, voice breaking with emotion. Every sneer, every probe, revealed souls bankrupt in empathy. Franklin, rude provocation. Provoked truth. I stood, pulling my black Amex Platinum from the tote, unlimited, engraved. Dropped it. Pay the bill. $1,200. Gift from the broke mother. Veronica stared, trembling. Don't need your charity. Nor I yours. But courtesy, apparently foreign to you. Tears streamed now, mine, genuine. The hurt of judgment, the love for my son fueling fire. Cards declined, Franklin's, high limit, frozen for security. Humiliation peaked. I slid my Centurion card, metal, invitation only. Bill settled instantly. Walking out, Marcus beside me, I whispered, proud of you, son. Choose your path. Home in my sanctuary, peace washed over me. Simone visited days later, transformed, humble, tearful, seeking wisdom. We bonded over tea, vowing authenticity. Marcus set boundaries, in-laws distanced, but family healed. I never hid again. Wealth freed me, but love, raw, honest, made me rich. Veronica's millions couldn't buy that. And in quiet evenings, watching sunsets from my simple balcony, I knew I'd won everything that mattered.